Okay, hi everyone. So a few weeks ago, I basically shared with the world through Facebook and Instagram that I was going to start a YouTube channel to basically be able to share some tools that I've been able to build up throughout my journey towards my own reinvention, my journey towards becoming my true, most authentic self. And I have to admit that I have been stalled quite a bit in that process because I've just been like, oh my gosh, like I need a space to do it. I need this to be perfect. I need to learn, how to do video editing. And most importantly, I need to feel like I can be fully authentic. And I sort of realized that that is actually where the problem lies in our lives, right? The fact that I constantly need to have a perfect moment or basically try to adhere to perfection. And so I just kind of decided that I'm gonna do this and completely not filter it out and just be authentic, right? Because in reality, life isn't supposed to be perfect. And if I'm really going to do this YouTube channel justice, I need to be able to show you guys that I am not perfect. What the world needs is not perfection. The world needs for all of us to just embrace our imperfection. And so here I am. I'm just now finally starting this YouTube channel and starting with that very powerful message. And just being able to admit to you guys that I have been feeling this resistance because I wanted it to be a perfect moment. I wanted this first video to just embody everything that I want to be able to, to share with the world. But in reality, we're all going through our journey. And this journey isn't going to be one that is going to look perfect, and it shouldn't. And so here I am. I'm just, here now, and I wanted to share with you guys a little bit of who I am in the glory of imperfection. What I want to be able to accomplish is to be able to share with you guys my journey. I quit my job last October without really a plan. I thought I had a plan, but it was probably one of the scariest moves that I have ever done. And it's been a year since then. And I have to admit, it's probably the best decision that I could have ever made. Not because I got to travel the world and see, different sites and experience other cultures, but because I finally realized that the world is so much bigger than the bubble that I was living in. I finally gave myself the space to be able to heal, to really stop looking in the external world for validation, to fill my identity, but to look from within and finally find the happiness and contentment that was always there. It was just that there was just a lot of places that I needed to heal and come to terms with. I've been calling this, the self-care, self-love, and self-honor journey. Because, as humans, we all start out caring for ourselves. It's self-care to me is the relationship with our physical self. And most people can relate to that. The next phase of that is self-love, the relationship, our relationship with our inner selves. How are we really talking to ourselves? Are we being self-critical, or are we celebrating every aspect of who we are, the good, the bad, and the ugly? And so being mindful and being aware of how we talk to ourselves, that running voice in the background, is a first step in changing that language and finally feeling better. And then finally self-honor, which is kind of the stage I'm in right now. How do we honor ourselves above all? And I know that sounds really selfish, but it's not, because when we honor ourselves and we can choose ourselves above others, it means that we have more of ourselves to give out there. We can only give as much of who we are to the outside world based on how much we are carrying. And so being able to honor ourselves is an important aspect of my journey. And so, you know, as I've sort of thought about, you know, this journey towards reinvention, what I call living the ideal life and transitioning into living my most authentic life, has not been an easy one. And I have to say that I'm still grappling with a lot of areas in my life that, you know, that I'm not willing to be authentic about. And I want to be honest about that, because at the end of the day, we are all just going through our journey. But what I want to be able to share with the world is to be a conduit for courage, right? We don't just get courageous overnight. What I want to be able to do is sit here and tell you guys that this journey has been hard, it's been imperfect, but I have taken one step after another that's led me to be finally fully content with my life. Finally learning how to not be a human doing, but basically finally becoming a human being. And I have to tell you that there are still days that, you know, that I struggle with my insecurities. That's never gonna go away. We are never going to be the perfect human beings that we aspire to be. But what we can do is be perfectly happy. How do you do that? You accept every moment as perfect. You just have this unwavering trust that everything happens for a reason, and that our, you know, our higher selves are just trying to evolve us and expand us. And so, you know, over the coming months, you know, I'm going to be posting hopefully at least once a week, kind of giving you guys a flavor of some of the tools that I've been able to build along the way that's allowed me to reprogram the way that I feel about myself. You guys, I don't believe in personalities. I'm sorry. That's just like, that's just a programming that, you know, that have been either passed down to us or have been anchored in our experiences. But there are scientific ways that we can reprogram ourselves so that we can then become our truer selves. A lot of that has to do with healing. A lot of that has to do with acceptance and loving the parts of us that we may not necessarily be proud of, but it is who we are. And so I just want to be able to give that kind of gift to the world. And I hope you guys will come along this journey with me and be imperfect. Let's just be authentic together. Let's struggle through life together and go on this journey towards becoming more authentic. I would love to hear how you guys are struggling with that. And, you know, because if you guys are struggling with it, I'm probably struggling with it as well. And there are people within the community who are struggling with it as well. So I just want all of us to build a community around this. I want to extend myself and create a family around being authentic, because guess what? That is what the world needs right now, more authenticity. As someone recently said to me, authenticity is antidote. And I really believe that, because now I'm finally taking one step at a time towards becoming my most authentic self. So expect more every single week. Again, you know, I'm just gonna tune into it and see what unfolds within my heart space, you know, and I'll just choose a topic that is relevant, you know, at that particular time. And I just trust that that kind of energy is gonna hit some of you guys, or hopefully all of you guys, and kind of facilitate and support you guys through your own journey. So thank you for listening to this unfiltered, imperfect, yet beautiful shoot and video. And I hope, again, you guys will come along for this journey. Thanks again, you guys, and see you next week.